Hey sis, welcome back to another episode of the Unfollowed Club, the space where truth has no shame and healing has no judgment. I'm your host, Kanisha, and today we're doing things a little differently because sometimes survival isn't just about what happened in the past, but what you're still enduring right now. And when the walls of your home start to feel more like a cage than comfort, sis, that's a story that must be told.
The Unfollowed Club is a safe space for anonymous storytelling, reflection, and community. Kanisha Gomez is not a licensed therapist, counsellor, or mental health professional. The stories and conversations shared here are personal and not intended to replace professional help. If you are struggling, please reach out to a qualified mental health provider or support service in your area. Rules of the Unfollowed Club. This is a safe space. No shaming, mocking, or toxic behaviour. Respect anonymity. Do not ask for or share personal identities without consent. Speak from experience, not superiority. Advice is welcome, not judgment. Trigger warnings. Sensitive stories may be shared. Please be mindful and enjoy the session today.
My struggle is about living with my in laws. It's not easy. They were all nice at first, but they started to take off their mask. They don't even want me to have a child for my husband. I had 2 miscarriages. Sometimes I wonder if they had anything to do with the first one. His brother behaves like my husband only married me to take care of their sick mother. I can't go anywhere. I'm at my breaking point. I thought about leaving so many times. I regret going there to live among his family. They hate me. They pretend for my husband and switch up when he's gone. His mom, she's a nice person, but controlling. She even wants me to change my religion to hers. If I could go back, I'd tell myself, don't move in with in laws. It's not worth your peace of mind. And for those of you who are listening, you already know what I'm about to say. This is not love. This is not okay. And if you see pieces of yourself in this submission, I want you to stay close and pay attention to this episode today because this may just be a checkpoint. Today's discussion is going to be about the silent suffocation of in law trauma. Let's unpack what's happening here. This is way deeper than the in law issues. We see where there's a lot of emotional abuse through isolation, religious coercion, reproductive control and trauma, and also the pretense in front of the husband, which is also a red flag, a major red flag. And we have a woman that is questioning her sanity and if this whole process is worth it. And while we've created this space to talk about toxic relationships where romantic partners are concerned, I believe that talking about a toxic household is just as dangerous and valid for discussion as well. Behind closed doors. This is episode number 4. And as you know, I would always try to find the red flags in each submission and expound on it to the best of my ability. This is what I'm about to attempt now. And the person that submitted the story, while they are still in the situation, they want women who are in the dating world to know what is out there and to beware of in-laws in this case, and especially in the case of living with in-laws, right? I would have my own thoughts to share on that as well after I talk about these red flags, but we're really going to focus on that right now in this segment. So thank you so much, Lisa, for this submission. And without further ado, let's get right into the red flags. Red flag number 1. Nice at first, then the mask comes off. So, with everything and with meeting people, you always try to put your best foot forward. You always try to give the best first impression. But sometimes some things look too good to be true. So she explains that in the beginning of, I guess, meeting her husband and them going through the courting stages and stuff like that, when she met the family, they were all nice in the beginning. Maybe even after she got married, when they both got married and they decided to live there, everything maybe or seemed to be very nice. Everyone is so loving, or so it may seem, right? And this is obviously to gain her trust. However, this could just be a sign of abusive environment, and it was a sign, right? Because the real people started showing up only after she had already got locked in this situation, for use of better words, and she and her husband may have already decided that they would stay in this household with the rest of the family, right? So this obviously was emotional deception because of what they would have portrayed before as compared to what it is she's experiencing now. Red flag number 2, family interference in reproductive choices. We see where she actually says that they don't want her to have children. This is outrightly cruel, and it is a violation of this woman's right as a woman, as a married woman, as a wife. This is awful, but this is also one of the disadvantages of living with in-laws. And I believe this is one of the reasons why this person, Lisa, would have shared the story with us, because she wants young women to see what you could end up getting into when you live amongst in-laws. I'm not saying that that all in-laws are bad, but when you are in other people's space like that, who are not directly connected to you by blood, especially, and they already have this toxic way of living, and you come into that, they are going to make you feel like you don't belong. They're going to make you feel like you are not a part of this family. And they did just that by letting her know that they don't want her to have kids, even after she had miscarriages. Some in some way, shape, or form, you would try to show compassion, but they don't care. Based on what it is she's shared here, they don't care. So please, ladies, remember this for those who are dating. Remember this story, and if the man loves you and he wants you all to be together, he will provide a home for the both of you. A man who's ready for a relationship will provide a home for you to live, whether you'll go out and rent on your own, or you and him put something together and get your own space, whatever it is. He would ensure that when you'll get married, that these things will be put in place, so you won't have to endure these things that can come along over time when you live amongst his family, because this is very unfortunate for Lisa. Red flag number 3: unexplained miscarriages linked to stress or possible sabotage. This is directly linked to the previous explained red flag. And we see here where this woman is wondering if her in-laws had something to do with her first miscarriage. This indicates to me that she would have and she is experiencing extreme emotional distrust for them, and possibly even abuse, right? Because while she doesn't have solid proof that they've done anything, based on their day-to-day interactions and what she would be experiencing with them firsthand, she believes that they would have had something to do with her miscarriages. Well, the first one at least. Just even having the thought that, people who are supposed to love you and protect you and care for you because, they made you feel so welcomed in the beginning. Just have the thought that they could actually do this to you is psychologically damaging in itself. And, this is yet another danger. All in all, we need to understand how important it is to know what you're getting into before you get into it, because it just may cost you your peace of mind. And she did speak about that in her submission as well, because this would take a toll on you. Having a miscarriage in itself is already a traumatic experience, and then having to deal with people who are not supportive, this could have an effect on an individual, on a woman. Red flag number 4: being treated like a caretaker, not a partner. So we see where the husband's brother implies that she was married to take care of the mother. Is a very degrading thing to experience. because, you know, after you get married and you're in this family and they make you feel like you belong, and then after a while to notice that you are the one being called on most of the time to do this thing, it you are no longer seen as a loved one. This is the feeling that I'm getting from the story, that she no longer feels like, she's a loved one, but she's there to perform that duty of a caregiver. No one wants to feel that way, right? And based on how she would have expressed it, this is how she feels. And it's putting her to think that maybe what he's saying just might be that she's there to perform that duty as a caregiver. And it's an awful feeling, I'm sure, to have, because you would have been looking at these people as family, and you would have even offered to help in the case of the mother a few times, because this is your way of expressing love and showing that you accept them as family. But clearly, this is not being reciprocated. And this is why Lisa would have mentioned this part out of the many other things that I'm sure she's going through. Because, it's taking away the feeling or that element of you being actually a part, or feeling a part of a family, after being married into that family. It is an unfortunate experience to have. And this is why she would have also shared her story, because she wants young women to know how the mistreatment and different things that you could experience while being amongst in-laws, especially if they are already toxic as a family. Red flag number 5: pressure to change religion. This is one of the major problems that comes up from time to time where the joining of families is concerned. Because it's a nice thing when everyone has shared beliefs. You tend to understand each other better and things like that. However, if someone is of a different belief, they shouldn't be pressured or forcefully coerced out of their religion. They know why they believe what they believe, and it is disrespectful to try to force someone out of their personal spiritual freedom to believe what they believe. And well, in her case, she may be the only one there that's a part of this particular religion, so she's also not getting support from her husband, I would believe, from this what she's experiencing here with the mother-in-law, because it seems to be an ongoing thing. So this is another uncomfortable situation, because you're not even getting to have the space to worship freely through your beliefs and your religion. Red flag number 6: being emotionally isolated from the husband. So focusing a bit on the husband now, is either one out of two things. He's not seeing the manipulation, which I highly doubt. or he's choosing the family's side. This would most definitely make this woman feel emotionally alone, even while they are married. And this in itself is creating a deep wound in the relationship, a deep wound of abandonment in the relationship. And this is yet another reason why Lisa would have shared her story today for women who are dating, especially. Because this could be avoided. There are things that, there are certain traits that men who are ready for relationship and are ready for marriage portray. And in this case, concerning Lisa's husband, we see where there's a lack of leadership as a major trait that a man must have. It's a must have. It should be innate in him if he's considering to be married and to have a family. And we see where this is not being exercised here in this relationship. And it's causing his wife to feel this sense of abandonment. Lisa shared her story so that women like me and the rest of women who are yet to be married or in that space, that dating world, to be aware of what to look for before settling, and especially where marrying into the family is concerned and living arrangements and these kind of things. And if you're going, I think that she also wants us to know that if you're going into a relationship similar to this, be aware of the issues that you could get into. She wants you to be aware of these issues because they are real, and she's brave. She has been brave enough to share a story with us because she wants us to know what it is like for those of us who don't know what it is like to live amongst in-laws. And some of us may even share some of these experiences as well. So I want us to remember Lisa's story, and to also leave your support in the comments, leave your love and your encouragement to Lisa because she's still in the situation, but she still decided to share. And this shows me someone that, cares about people despite all that she's going through. She wouldn't want this for anyone else. So please reciprocate the love. Send your messages. Send your messages of love in the comments, in the group, wherever you would like to leave them, because this is not an easy situation. And yet still she made the step to share her story, and we are very grateful to have heard it and be a support at this time. So that was our story and red flags for today. But we're going to do something a bit different, as this is our mental checkpoint for the month. We're going to do a red flag reflection. Let's learn together. I want us to do a little activity right now. You don't need paper, you just need honesty. I want you to think about a relationship or a living situation, past or present, where you felt anxious more than peace. Now, ask yourself these 5 questions. Do I feel free to be myself in this environment? Do I have control over my body, my time, my faith? Do the people I live with uplift me or drain me? Do I have a safe space to express my pain without being gaslit? And finally, am I staying out of love or out of guilt, fear or obligation? I wanted to take a deep breath. And if any of these answers felt heavy, you may have some work to do. But you don't have to do it alone. This could just be your call to counseling, your call to healing. In our Unfollowed Club circle, we don't just believe in venting. We believe in community and clinical care because sometimes talking to your girls isn't enough, and that's okay. That's why we're proud and honestly a little emotional to say we have a licensed counselor in our corner. Gabriella's Double Impact Solutions is now offering her signature packages, and sis, let me tell you, this is more than therapy. It's transformation. These aren't your basic sessions. Gabriella is offering counseling and mentorship in one powerful 10-week journey. That means you get the support to heal your past and the tools to build your future. Think about that. Most therapy stops at coping, but mentorship carries you forward, helping you create structure, purpose, and growth, even after the wounds begin to close. And guess what? For a limited time only, you can access these signature 2-in-1 services at a massive discount. These sessions are usually $450 to $500 per session. Now they're just $360 to $400 per session. You can choose from the Discover You package for youths 11 to 18, navigating identity, pressure, and purpose, and the Heal You package for adults carrying trauma, stress, and emotional fatigue. There's a bonus. New clients get a free 15-minute consultation, no strings attached, to ask questions and feel it out. Still unsure? Gabriella also offers regular counseling-only sessions at $250 per session for 6 to 8 weeks. But honestly, why settle for just survival when you can step into a guided transformation? These are her signature packages, carefully crafted to not only support your healing, but to help you rewrite your chapter. Weekly spots are limited. Promotion ends August 29th. Call or WhatsApp at 1-868-315-9897 to book your spot now. Sis, if they show you who they really are, believe them the first time. This is Kanisha, and you're listening to the Unfollowed Club, where we unfollow pain, patterns, and people who pretend. If you have a story to share anonymously, visit Unfollowed Stories on Instagram and send us a DM. We'll protect your name, your voice, and your truth. And if no one's told you today, I'm proud of you for surviving. And I believe in your healing. See you next Saturday. Until then, Stay soft, stay smart, and stay safe.
Thanks so much for listening to the Unfollowed Club. If this touched you in any way, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us reach more hearts that need healing. Until next time, unfollow the pain, choose your peace.